Unfortunately, the reason why most Etsy sellers don't really do very well is because they don't really understand what designs sell. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to show you in this video exactly how to find those designs that do work and why they work. And it's a very simple process. But before I get going with this video, please hit the like, subscribe, smash the notification bell if you want to know more about how to sell digital products, AI, Etsy, and all of that great stuff. And my name's AJ. I do all of this stuff. I've got over 800 videos dedicated to this. So if you're interested, do check them out. Now, look, I'm on Etsy as per usual, and I've just typed in something called Halloween Goose. Now, let me just give you one very quick tip off the bat. If you say you want to design for a particular time of year, say Halloween or Christmas, you don't just look at something general like Halloween PNG. You go specific, you go sub-niched. In this case, I've gone into Halloween geese or goose PNG. Now, even within that, you need to sub-niche further to find the designs that sell. But this is enough to actually just find out very quickly. So Halloween Goose PNG typed in, use it for any niche that you want to look at. Make sure you got EVERBEE research, which is hooked up to Etsy, which will help you actually drill down, understand which ones are selling. So do check out EVERBEE, my go-to research SEO tool. The link is below. You can try it out for free. Now, once I've done this, I need to go down and see what's selling. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but what I'll do is I'll show you what I've identified. Now, you'll see that there's many sort of goose related designs for Halloween, and you'll see the same for, so coming down, I'm going to just show you something. You can see lots of these goose designs, loads of them, different styles. And look at this. If I just show you this line, for example, you can see the first one is that sort of very sort of line cartoony style. The next one is your 4 different goose in that vintage sort of whimsical style, darker style. Again, wearing different kind of costumes. The other one, the third one, has 3 geese, and the fourth one has just a duck. I don't know why it's got goose there. And if I go up even further, there's other ones, other design styles. So there's many different styles, and it's like, where do you go? What do you choose? What works? Well, this is why you need research and SEO. And this is why I say hook up EVERBEE, because what you'll see is, give an example. Now, I've identified this sort of style. Look at this style, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different geese wearing different Halloween kind of costumes and stuff, right? This style with just a spooky goose, it seems to work very well. Now, how do I know it does? Because look at this one. This first listing you can see is a 1-month-old listing. Only a 1-month-old listing is 20.44% conversion. That's big. 579 views, 42 sales, and it's just brand new. And this is what I'm trying to say, guys. You look at the recent listings and see if it works, right? Then what you do is you see if it is confirmed. And what I mean by that is if the design repeats itself, and there's also money to be made by other sellers. So this is one seller. And then if I go down, I'm going to see very similar designs here. These two are very similar. Although they haven't put it on a mock-up, which means that they haven't put it on a sweater to show how it would be used, they are very similar designs. You can see these two actually by 2 other different sellers. They are both recent listings. This one's a 2-month-old listing. It's got 254 conversion rate. It's a very similar style to the one that I showed you. And also here's a different seller. Again, you can see very similar. Now, this is a 1-month-old listing. It hasn't shown conversion yet because it must be very, very recent, under a month, but it does show good signs because it's got 1,398 views. So this also shows that it's most likely going to be making some sales very, very soon. So this tells me that within the Halloween, within the goose niche, having those 6 different geese wearing different kind of clothing in that similar style is something that people like, people want, people may use to buy and put it on a sweatshirt or something, but it just seems to work. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Sometimes design just seems to work, but you need to find those designs that seem to work by actually finding out what's converting, where the views are. So if it's recent, you're not going to get all the data. So you need to find out where the views are. If it's slightly older, like a 2-month-old listing, you'll start seeing more data. But remember, by that time, it might be too late to get into. This is why you need to be very quick. When you identify listings from different sellers that are starting to get views, started to get traction, starting to get conversion, starting to get those sales, then you need to move quickly. You need to go and create these designs, and you need to list up, and then you need to create variations of that. That is the task that you need to do. So as an Etsy seller, it's about identification, verification, and then implementation. right? These are the 3 important steps that you need to do, right? So identification is obviously through, using your own understanding of design and looking at the pages of Etsy. Number 2 is that verification using your tool, using EVERBEE, my go-to research tool, to verify, validate that things are starting to work, make money, convert, something that's recent, that's actually selling. And then implementation is creating the designs that are similar to this. Me personally, I always like to make a little bit different. I don't like to do things too similar. You can see that these two are very, very close, very, very similar. I would like to make it slightly different, but still maintaining the sort of style and the elements that people are looking for. But I do like to have my own unique twist. But yeah, that's how you do it, guys. Now, obviously, the creation of these, I like to use various different platforms like MIDJOURNEY, things like ChatGPT, maybe even new ones like Nano Banana, which is getting to be really, really cool now. So there's many, many ways of actually creating digital products these days. But yeah, definitely go and check that out. And remember, this process can be applied to any niche that you want to get into, any design niche, any particular niche. And also, guys, in terms of creating these digital products, it is very easy. I like to use, like I said, various different platforms, as I mentioned. Do check out my video up here, how I actually show you how to create a Halloween goose style, which is just there. You can check it out, where I actually go through the process to create the prompt for that design. So definitely do check it out. But like I said, this can be created for any design that you want. And yeah, do check out my channel for more ideas and tips. Check out my Stan store if you want to look at some freebies and courses and some workshops which I produce for you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.